Hi, I'm Grace and I work for a company in Ireland. I am a civil engineer and have been employed for almost 5 years, carrying out structural and civil works on housing schemes, individual houses, and industrial units. Take, for instance, this house. As we can see the floor plan or mark, we would draw up this pad stone onto the floor plan, and this will either need a structural steel beam or a steel light lintels. If we take a sample house that's here, a ground floor plan, it is marked up the directions of the precast floor span and shown the loadings that will come down, internal and external loadings. And we will work this out so that we can recommend and put in a table showing what is required loadings for steel lintel or concrete lintel. If we take, for instance, the window here, because of the Irish regulations, this will either require a steel light lintel. If this require a concrete head like this shown, it will be above 4 or 6 inches wounds that are normally used, or maybe a 9-inch head. So the close-up of this drawing shows you the different areas where we consider steel is needed. The client or the engineer sometimes comes back from Ireland telling us where they need it. So on the typical upstairs plan, we would get the span of the concrete choices. Most cases, as you know now, because we put in the precast flooring as shown when the directions of the spans. Now this can come from one of the manufacturers in the area who supply in the concrete spans or supply the concrete floors. Or we can estimate which way the shortest spans the floors would be. In general, when you're doing steel or timber, you might use posy joist, but if you're doing concrete, the loading is much greater on the openings. As you can see from this drawing, we have marked up and put in a different steel beam sizes are required in this house, along with the padstone typical connection details. All the loadings are done in compliance to Euro codes. In here is a typical concrete floor. And here you can see the slab arrangements and where the concrete manufacturer would require steel. We would work out the sizes and mark up in the drawings. On the table here shows you in detail the dimensions of the opening of each block from inner and outer lip, the location where they are and the lintel needed, whether it be concrete or steel lintels, and the loadings that are required for each one. This is clearly marked up in all our drawings. A normal house like this would probably take a day or two to get done. As shown here, just one of the software program we use, which designs in accordance to Euro codes. Like for instance here, we input the steel beam span and you have a different steel selection on the side. And you have the given options on what you need to get for loading. And after you get done inputting all the values needed, you will have more options on steel sizes. As shown for the result, you have the design summary that all parameters are passed. And if happens to fail, you can just increase the size of the steel beam. So that's all. Thank you for listening.